Greetings, friend, entrepreneur, and fellow business builder. It is the final episode of the 2015 Super Bowl Good, Bad, and Ugly Ads program, and I'll tell you, what a finish to that game. Pete Carroll needs to have his head examined for that call down there on that line when he had Marshawn Lynch being able to take it in over 3 tries. Come on, that was going to happen. Should have been game Seattle. But what about the ads? Hey, bad year, everybody agrees with that, but there are some brighter spots than others. I saw one of the, I am not a gamer, so I can't even remember the name of the game, unfortunately, but one of the game ads I thought was pretty good, made you want to buy the game, so that one was a good one. But I've got Joel and Dave back with us. Dave, let's start with you. You saw some bright spots, including the cell phone charger. Why don't you talk about some of the ads you thought were good?
I mean, creatively, I liked the cell phone charger, and I felt like, in general, the second half ads were better than the first half. I think Doritos, for several years running, if you hear my baby squealing in the background.
Yeah, Joel, you're one of the folks that you know, you've done, along with Dave, some web blogs or video blogs, you know, series type commercials. Doritos usually takes, I think it is 3 spots to run 3 different commercials. This year they only did 1, but they have successfully kind of created a franchise there around the Super Bowl with their customer-made videos, and then they pick one that's a winner of the contest. What's your take?
Well, I agree with Dave. I think Doritos, even though their ads may not be that great, the ones that they pick, the reason why it's so smart is they get first of all, they get a bunch of content created, then those people self-promote that content that's selling their chips. So first of all, when the people make the commercials, they're buying Doritos to use in the commercials. Then they are self-promoting that to their own networks on Facebook, etc., trying to get people to vote for their ad. And it's just a lot, even before the Super Bowl ever goes, they got a bunch of free advertising and selling chips along the way. It's a sweet deal for Doritos.
It is about the perfect combination of traditional media with the new media, and Doritos has mastered it year after year with this campaign. Let's talk sex a little bit, though. Okay, there were 2 basic ads that really played on sex. In the past, GoDaddy's done it, but GoDaddy's ad was flat out boring this year. They've abandoned that when they got new ownership of the company. But Carl's Jr., now those of you in the East probably didn't see this ad, but in the West, Carl's Jr. had a very provocative ad. We'll give you a look at it. And also, there is the Victoria's Secret ad. And Dave, you were making some comments about the fact you like those ads. Well, duh, who doesn't? But does sex sell?
Well, I think, you know, these are 2 brands that, well, let's start with the Carl's Jr. Carl's Jr.'s been using pretty girls to sell hamburgers for a while. They are the only, when you think about fast food, sexy doesn't come to mind, and I think they're alone in that product in fast food with selling their burgers with pretty girls, sexy girls. And I think it's a win for them from a branding perspective. I don't know if anybody's going to go out and feel like, wow, if I eat burgers like this, I'm going to score a Kate Upton or a whatever the new girl's name was, who, for my money, is better looking than Kate Upton. So I was pleased with that. Victoria's Secret, same thing. I mean, their slogan at the end, the real game, you know, let the real games begin after the Super Bowl. You know, I don't know.
Joel, I got a question for you on that. My question for Joel is, Joel, are the Victoria's Secret ads for men or for women? Who are they advertising to?
Well, I don't know that it matters because you know, if a guy wants his wife or girlfriend, hopefully his wife, to look sexy, then you know, there's a good chance she's going to go to Victoria's Secret. You know, she might not, but they've got a real edge on that market. And in a case when you're selling lingerie, then yes, I would say sex sells. I don't know if I agree with Dave when it comes to Carl's Jr. They may have market share in your mind. I don't know that it translates to selling burgers. But in the case of lingerie, it only makes sense that in that industry.
It is, after all, the product. Well, guys, give us a final tally. I mean, what do you think of the whole collection this year? Would you give it overall a good, a bad, or an ugly? Dave, why don't you go first?
I'd go with ugly to bad. I think for the most part there was a lack of creativity, no major standouts. Even among those, like the tortoise and the hare Mercedes ad, even among the visually cool ads, they weren't that visually cool, heavy on the special effects, and it was just kind of there. So I'd say mostly pretty lame, pretty boring, and as far as selling products, pretty bad.
And your take, Joel?
I agree with Dave. You know, I found myself saying about the best ads in the group, that one at least wasn't bad. You know, so that was about the best you could say. There was one ad I wanted to mention that I did think was good and managed to be somewhat entertaining, and it was, I think, after the game, but it was an AT&T ad, AT&T Uverse, where the dad is coaching all the different sports, and so that was kind of fun to see, and the entertainment grew from the benefit, which is you get all these different channels, and so it's very integrated with the benefit and somewhat entertaining, and I felt like that was a bright spot at the end of the day, but for the most part, ugly.
All right, and so that's about where I stand with it as well. And mark my words, folks, there was far less work done to create engagement with the audience. There was far less stuff driving you to an internet. There were a lot of hashtags, but not like last year. Was it, you know, tell what the ending of the spot should be and vote on it, so that's determined. None of that kind of engagement that I saw this year compared to previous years, and I wonder what that says about both the brands that are advertising and whether those tactics worked at all last year. And if they didn't work, what does that bode for the future of advertising on television and the interaction of advertising on TV or traditional media with the new media? And is the new media really working? These are big questions that will need to be answered. And meanwhile, who knows what's going to happen for advertising in the Super Bowl from here on out. That's about it for now. Thanks for joining us. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your comments below. Remember, when you comment, there's a good chance you might win a prize worth up to $197. Check us out next time for our next episode of The Normal Boring Everyday with Bad and Ugly Ads.